Hello, Americans. iBankerU. Stand by for news. 1992, the city of Sarajevo. A man named Stefan, not a soldier, not a politician, just a middle-aged accountant. He stood on a street corner that had only weeks prior been the place of cafes and commerce. But now, it was a gauntlet of snipers and starvation. Stefan had a wife and a 6-year-old daughter. He had a bank account full of currency that was essentially colorful wallpaper. And he had a problem. The city was closing in. The exit was a narrow mountain pass, and the only way out was a vehicle that he didn't own and fuel that he couldn't find. But Stefan did have one thing left. It was a Patek Philippe, a gold heirloom passed down from his grandfather who had survived the previous Great War. In the old world, the world of a couple of months ago, it was worth a small fortune. But in the new world, the world of the siege, you could not eat gold and you could not burn a leather strap for warmth. So Stefan walked into a dimly lit garage owned by a man who dealt the only two things that really mattered: gasoline and passage. Stefan laid the watch on the greasy workbench. The man didn't even look at the brand. He didn't check the movement. He just picked it up, felt the weight, and handed Stefan a set of keys to a battered diesel-engine Volkswagen and two 20-liter jerry cans. Stefan and his family made it across the border that night. They survived. And now you might think that the lesson here is simple. Buy a luxury watch because it's portable wealth. And you might think that it's a store of value or an escape asset. Well, you'd be wrong, because Stefan didn't just trade a watch for a car, he traded a misunderstanding for a miracle. And now, the rest of the story. That man in the garage, he didn't want the watch for the gold. He didn't even want the watch for it to tell time. He wanted it because in a world where the power grid had failed and the radio was nothing but static, that mechanical, self-winding watch was the only thing in the city that could provide certainty. He used the watch to coordinate the movements of supplies under the cover of darkness. He used its precision, not its price tag, to time the intervals between sniper reloads. Stefan survived because he understood a fundamental law of the survival economy that most opinion shills on your television will never tell you. Value is not determined by the buyer. It is determined by the desperation of the moment. You see, many of you are stacking silver and gold, myself included, and we should. But are you stacking utility? If you have 10 ounces of gold, but don't have a way to move your family, you don't have wealth, you have a target on your back. Stefan's escape asset wasn't the gold in the Patek. It was the fact that the watch worked when nothing else did. In the coming decade, as we watch the slow debasement of our own certainties, you don't just look for what is expensive, you look for what is indispensable. Look for the watch in your own life. Is it a skill? Is it a community? Is it a mechanical tool that requires no grid to function? Stefan's grandson told the story years later. He still wears a mechanical watch, not because it's a status symbol, but because he knows that when the lights go out, status is the first thing we trade for a gallon of fuel. And now you know the rest of the story about Stefan, the man who traded a watch for a life. Build that stack. iBankerU. Good day.